Patrick Beverley taking aim at Trae Young. Does he have a point as they go back and forth? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel. Turn on those notifications as well. We've talked about it before. About 70% of you're not actually subscribed to the channel. Let's change that. Hit that subscribe button. Joining me is Donnie Freeman. Donnie, Patrick Beverley has something to say. Should we care?
Probably not. But if you ever need an indicator that like we are deep into the offseason and we can't wait for NBA basketball to come back, a Trae Young, Patrick Beverley beef back and forth was not on my bingo card of things that, it signifies that we're at a point where we need to get back to the season. And maybe they've been chippy. I wouldn't doubt it. And both of those guys can be chippy at times. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Okay, well, let's get into it because I got to tell you what, the team has now gotten involved in this situation as well.
The team?
I don't know if you saw this. The team has gotten, the Atlanta Hawks have gotten involved in this Trae. Yeah. So
I love
here. Let me show everybody what we're talking about here. So this is Patrick Beverley, his quote, honest message to Trae. I don't know. Personally, I think a lot of this stuff can be like, hey, don't forget about me, like that type of vibe here, like from Patrick Beverley. But take a look at this, what he has to say about Trae Young.
Goes honest question: why do NBA players play so hard in random open gyms in the summer but give no effort in the All-Star game with millions watching? My response is because All-Stars take the game for granted. It's not one All-Star on a basketball court. It's just naturally good bump. Trae Young's response was,
he said, relax, let us speak for ourselves. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't think he's in a position to speak. I don't think he's one enough to even speak to me like that or tweet me like that. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. I've been to the playoffs 9.
9 is more than 3.
He's been in the NBA 7 years. My first 7 years, I didn't miss the playoffs at all.
Interesting.
In the Western Conference.
Interesting.
Right. His rebuttal is probably going to be, yeah, you.
Okay. All right. I mean, let's just stop it right there. What are we talking about, Pat? Like, he's talking about why don't you play hard in the All-Star game? Patrick Beverley never made the All-Star game. Trae Young's been there 4 times. Trae Young has way more experience talking about why players might or may not play hard in an All-Star game than Patrick Beverley. He's never been there.
This is so funny to me because Trae just he didn't say anything wrong. He just like, hey, let us talk for ourselves.
Right.
Like you were just saying, Trae knows what it's like to be in that environment. He doesn't. That doesn't mean he can't have credibility or anything like that, of course. Like you can obviously comment on things you have opinions on, as we do here. But it's funny, he didn't say anything wrong, but Pat responds like, I don't think he's done enough to even talk to me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Where did that come from?
He starts stacking up his resume as though he dragged his teams to the playoffs or something. I've been to the playoffs 9 times. Yeah, your team made the playoffs because you got them there. You were certainly a part. He was a great defensive player in the NBA, but it's not the same as Trae Young being the 1A guy on the Hawks to Patrick Beverley being admittedly a very good role player, but a role player on a number of different teams. All right, let's get a little further into this though here.
Want the main player on the team. Absolutely right. But this is why it's a team. I've talked to people who played in Atlanta. They don't want to play there.
Why?
They don't think he's a good leader. They don't think he's a good teammate. This is not coming from me, motherfucker. This is coming from Joe Blow over here. Trae, you can score all the points you want. You can make all the money you want. You can have all the leading assists you want. You can do all that. If you don't win, that shit won't matter. If you don't win, when you're retired, they're going to forget your name. Fast, too. So I don't even think he has the wiggle room to talk about.
Who is he? What is he
you
talking
not playing
about?
hard for an All-Star game. You're not.
Is he just deflecting there? Like what? Pat, you didn't win anything either.
What he's trying to do is dismiss what I said. Well, that was my immediate response. And he was anticipating that Trae's response would be the same, would be that Trae is the guy in Atlanta. Patrick Beverley doesn't have the same experience as a role player. And he's trying to dismiss that side of the argument by saying, well, what you did does not matter. No, we're not. No, yeah, you could score all these points. You could do all this stuff. You could put up much better numbers, but that doesn't matter if you're not winning. The only thing that matters is winning. So just dismissing Trae Young's side of the argument, that's what he's doing.
He's preemptively trying to assume his response and get ahead of it here.
Exactly.
Just saying. So
exactly.
I mean, it's silly though, but all right.
Okay.
Not like you're playing in the playoffs. The fuck?
So what do you think his point is?
I don't know. I
He's
think
just trying to put himself above you.
I think so. Like, let us speak. Like, what do you mean? Okay, well, let the motherfuckers who played in the playoffs more than 9 years speak to them. before you speak. Motherfucker you played with told me, Pat, man, that shit ain't the Atlanta Hawks. That shit called the Trae Hawks.
Interesting.
And then the first word he used is relax. And I'm like, motherfucker, relax. You should be uncomfortable. You should be more uncomfortable. All right, that's the problem. You too motherfucking relaxed. 7 years, you made the playoffs 3 motherfucking times. You're too relaxed. Motherfucker, get uncomfortable. Really get uncomfortable and lead your motherfucking team to some more wins and playoff push. The game is better. The game needs that from you. Trust me. If kids up here that look up to you, talking about me fucking relax. You get uncomfortable. I challenge you to do that. Don't put yourself up here, right? Because you score a lot of points and a lot of assists, but you lose.
Well, it seems like he's just trying to take it as a chance to take a shot that you haven't been in an All-Star game.
Obviously, but I've been on teams who won 50 games. I don't know what missing the playoff feels like. I have to tell my family every year, daddy be home in June. I don't know what April and early May in Atlanta feels like. I don't. Knee deep in the trenches.
I mean, I think the obvious answer to the actual question is that people are trying to get better in the summertime, and nobody's trying to get better during the All-Star game. They're trying to, like, you know, just get some a fancy layup.
Okay, well, if that's the case, go get MVP every year in the All-Star game. Then I won't say shit to you. You relax. Motherfucker, you know what? Don't relax. You get uncomfortable. Fuck that. You're too relaxed.
All right.
That's great. That's great, man. I love it. He's great.
By the way, it annoys me that guys don't play hard in the All-Star game. I get it. But it's not just Trae doing it. I also understand why guys don't play hard in the All-Star game. And then it becomes this whole, he gets into like trying to dismiss what Trae Young has accomplished because he knows Trae's response is going to be, why are you talking about the All-Star game when you haven't been in an All-Star game? Yeah. So he tries to just dismiss everything that Trae Young would counter with. And then even takes the little shot like, oh, you haven't done anything. Guys don't even want to play with you. Guys don't even want to be on your team in Atlanta, and throwing those kinds of shots at him and stuff like that. And it all gets, obviously, I think that he blew things out of proportion here, but that's the strategy here. He's trying to preemptively dismiss or dismantle, disassemble any kind of response from Trae Young that would just say, well, you haven't been to an All-Star game and I have. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't have a problem with the general sentiment that guys don't. That's a whole different discussion. That guys don't put enough effort into the All-Star game. That's a whole different thing. We start veering from that to talking about Trae, his accolades, his career thus far, all these other things, being uncomfortable. Could you argue that, they could have probably been better? Maybe, sure. But I think that they've had some pretty solid runs with Trae, with the roster that they've had around him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I
think they're going to be good this year.
And they're going to be good again this year for sure. And that doesn't mean that he's too comfortable or anything like that. Really, I think Pat took that initial reply way too seriously. I don't think it was anywhere near that deep to warrant that type of animosity or response from him. And he took it way too seriously, I think, the relax and all that stuff. All he said was, let us talk for ourselves. Maybe you could perceive that as a slight shot. Hey, sure. You haven't been here. Yeah. But I don't think I still don't think it warranted that. But maybe he was playing it up for the podcast and all that stuff.
Sure. But, exactly. Create a beef, get a response, all that. By the way, what we're watching right now, the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, my God.
This is the Hawks the Hawks made a highlight reel of all the times Trae Young scored on Patrick Beverley and posted it. And this is the team account. This is not like a Hawks fan page or something. The team account published a highlight reel of Patrick Beverley getting burned by Trae Young.
This is the most nothing burger beef ever, man. From out of nowhere.
This is peak mid-September NBA right here. Oh my goodness. I love it. All right, we're gonna get to Trae Young's response here to all of this. We'll get there right after this.
Ever heard of the Sleeper app? Well, here's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper. But the app offers so much more. There's live stats, real-time updates, and visualization on all stats. There's a news feed where you can get lightning-fast updates on your favorite players and teams. And a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about individual plays and performances during the NFL and NBA seasons. So download the #1 sports app and experience it yourself today. And when you do, use promo code Bulletin and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
All right. Here's Trae Young's response. And we won't watch the entire thing. We'll jump and skip through through some of this here.
But wait, we got some more facts for you. And this has nothing to do with any of the guys' legacies and players that I'm about to name, because to be honest, I didn't really want to mention anybody's name in this because this is between me and you. You play with some big-time players, my guy. You talk about winning and impact winning and all these things. You've been on some teams with some big-time players. How about I go through a list of these guys? LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Ant-Man, Cat. And we're not even going to talk about how we celebrate play-in wins. I win play-in games on the road, and I'm ready to get to the playoffs. You win play-in games at home, and you standing on the scores table acting like it's a championship. You celebrate wins different, too. But let me get back to these guys. You've had some great teammates over these years that you've only been able to make the conference finals with because your impact was that strong. One time, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Sweet Lemon Pepper Lou, and Dwight Howard. I can go on and on. Them is just the Hall of Famers that I could just pop on the list right now. Let's not name some of the guys that I know may have listened to you when they was around you, but the way they act is not the way you act. Even from the young guys who are going to be future Hall of Famers. A guy who just won MVP, a guy who just won a championship. I know he looked up to you as a rookie, but you saw what happened when he left. But we don't even need to get into that. Some of them are still...
Did he just say that SGA looked up to Pat Bev as a rookie but got better when he left him? Oh, man. Good Lord.
Still adding on to their legacies in the game of basketball. We're talking basketball here. In one conference finals to show for it, your impact for winning was very strong, huh? And this ain't no shot again to them guys, because I know from being in my shoes, I know how hard it is to win in this league. I know how much luck you have to have on your side to win at a high level and go play into June, like you said.
I mean, it's a fair point from like when he's comparing it, and Pat is preemptively dismissing Trae's argument by saying, "Well, I've actually been to the All-Star game and you haven't." Trae chiming in and saying, "You made it to the West Finals once, and you're talking about how much winning matters compared to what I've done, and you've won with all of these superstar teammates that you've played with over the years. And who have I had in Atlanta that I've been playing with? I've been doing it as the guy." I think it's a fair point. Obviously, they can go back and forth and around and around and around, but it's a fair point nonetheless.
Yeah, he also played with Pete Harden. I don't think Trae mentioned him earlier. I didn't hear his name.
I think he may have mentioned him.
Maybe he did, but Pat's had some really good teammates. By the way, I just wanted to put this up there. He brought this up. I gotta show this. This is the meme for Pat with the music too. So hold on, I'm gonna play it for a second. I'll turn the music off. You guys know the song, just so we don't get copyrighted. But look at him. He's crazy.
That was a playing game. Oh,
like he won a championship.
Remember the whole bit about Pat standing up on the table in Vegas?
Oh yeah,
when the Kawhi and Paul George thing went down.
So poorly, man.
Oh man.
Oh, he said the next 4 years are mine. Whatever he said, right? Like that. That's crazy. So Pat, I think I think he's a funny dude. I think he's a bit of an entertainer. I don't take much of this all too seriously. I think he, frankly, if he wasn't playing it up, probably took the response a little too seriously. But I think Trae, honestly, I wish Trae handled it very classy. I wish he maybe came back to him with a little bit more, oomph to it. But that's fine. I think he handled it the right way, appropriately, of course. But
yeah,
I like I said, I think this is a nothing burger. But it's just funny that Pat wanted to, basically throw Trae under the bus. It turned it into something, right? Like,
Pat's
he got
on an
straight.
NBA team right now too.
Is he even trying to play in the NBA?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where
wasn't he playing overseas? I don't know.
Yeah. So he's look. Trae mentioned, Pat, anytime I was on the floor with you, I wasn't scared of you. And he said that kind of stuff later on in this.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's this conversation got flipped into a Pat versus Trae thing, and
that wasn't even what it was. It was about the All-Star game, and then it just
the All-Star game, and then Trae was like, "Hey, why are you talking about the All-Star game about guys not playing hard?" And to be fair, I think Pat has a point. Like, and if you're a guy like Patrick Beverley, who basically who made his career off of playing hard every single possession, every single game, right? Like that was his thing.
That's true.
That's how. So when he sees guys that are, let's be honest, who's got more talent as a basketball player, Trae Young or Pat Bev?
It's not close.
Yeah, it's Trae Young, right? It's easy. But Pat Bev, it's credit to him that he made it into the NBA and had such a long career and successful career. Pat was the kind of guy that everybody would want on a team, the kind of role player that every team needs a Patrick Beverley style antagonist, a defensive lockdown guy that's going to get into the other team's best player. Did he go too far sometimes? Yeah, he went too far sometimes. But everybody needs a guy like that. So for Pat Bev, a guy who made his career by constantly hustling, to see these guys that are more talented than him, I can understand why Pat would look at these guys and be like, man, I'm hustling every single play, and these guys are going out there lollygagging during the All-Star game and aren't even really trying. I can understand why that makes sense that it would bother him. And in general, I think I actually side with Pat Bev. I would like to see guys really play in the All-Star game. I think the whole conversation got twisted and turned into this, and Pat sees the opportunity to went, cool, I'm going to go back and forth with Trae Young, and I'm going to get my name out there again, and people are going to pay attention because everybody's going to focus on this. And frankly, it's smart, and it worked, but it all ultimately distracted from what the real point that Pat was making, and that's that guys shouldn't be out there not playing hard, even if it's just the All-Star game.
Because that was a question from a commenter, like, why are guys putting more into other games than they are into the All-Star game when they've got so many eyeballs on them in the product? And that's been a long-standing issue for the NBA, something that they have been trying to figure out the solution to for a while. They've done a number of things and gimmicks and all these other things, and nothing seems to be fixing it. So they're going to do another one this year. So I don't
USA
really know.
Versus the world, baby.
They've been trying gimmicks for like the
It's
last 10 years or whatever. I don't get it, but again, that point from Pat, like, I can understand why he would feel some type of way about guys not competing based on all the stuff you said. And another thing about Pat is, and this is a broad NBA thing, you know, I don't think we give them enough credit, the role guys, because these are guys that are marginalized. They're put into these boxes to be specific styles of players on these teams to fit what the team needs, because the team doesn't need for these guys to go out there to produce because they've got other guys that are better at doing some of these other things. But if these guys go to other situations where they're able to do that, or into other leagues, maybe the competition is not as good, of course, but they can do more than they're asked to do because that's just the quality of player these guys are. And I think Pat fits into that, and so many of these guys also fit into that too. So you were talking about, you know, a guy like him, the role that he's done in the NBA and the way he's been able to make a career out of that. I do think that's true. But at the end of the day, Trae was also right. He's played that role alongside all these stars and hasn't been able to, for one reason or another, you know, make it any further than the Western Conference Final one time, right? So
yeah, that's the way that it played out, and that included the Clippers and some shortcomings that they had.
Lakers, let's keep it a buck, man. He was on the Lakers for a bad stretch there.
Yeah, that was true. That was true. Well, God, remember the Lakers?
Don't do it.
Pat Bev is going to be our wing defender,
wing stopper.
Oh,
you remember the lineup with Austin Reeves at the center, Russ, Pat Bev, Dennis Schroeder.
No.
I believe that was the lineup. All those guys out there, and then maybe Kendrick Nunn was out there too. Darvin, what the hell, man?
It was the Westbrook, Pat, Schroeder three-guard rotation. The entire paint was just packed. Dark days indeed. But kudos to the Hawks for having a little fun with it and putting together a highlight. They're like, forget it, it's September. Somebody quick put together a highlight reel of Trae scoring on Pat Bev, and let's have a little fun with it. Good job, Atlanta. All right, everybody, give us your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this beef between Pat Bev and Trae Young? Whose side do you land on? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.